I got Mandela affected by this episode's title. I thought it was Watermelon Stevens, plural, because there's a lot of them, but no, that makes too much sense. It's Watermelon Steven, just one. You're imagining the rest of them. I don't think I stop and talk about these chill moments enough. Steven Universe has this unique ability to do these wholesome, chill scenes that don't appear very much in other media. This also seems to be lost in later seasons, where a ton of crazy world-ending shit is happening. The show loses its ability to stop and breathe for a while. But here, it's just Steven chilling with his dad.
Look, Dad! I'm Amadeus! My father, he disapproves of me!
Someone in the comments is going to have to enlighten me on this one. Is this a reference to Amadeus Mozart? I honestly have no clue, even after all these years.
Ha! Well, check this out!
Is it wrong to assume more people know this scene from a YouTube poop than the actual episode?
Check this out!
I've seen this clip fucking everywhere. Sucking everywhere, rather. This can must have been set up for ages. Steven must have known that he would need to shoot it with a watermelon seed later that day. Also, it's a can of Colonel Colonel's creamed corn, which appeared in Rose's room. This is probably the most unintentionally disgusting scene in the show. The show does a lot of gross stuff on purpose, like body horror, but Steven spitting on everything really grosses me out quite a lot.
By Jove! It's full of seeds!
This is a reference to 2001: A Space Odyssey, but not the movie. This line was in the novelization of the movie. Speaking of Mandela effect, it seems like a lot of people attribute this quote to the movie. It's not in the movie. It never was. It was never edited out. That's just the timeline we're living in. Oh, a full moon! That means it should have been 2 weeks since fusion cuisine.
Your mother had the power to grow sentient plant life to act as her defenders.
More Rose Quartz lore! Now viewers have the pieces to know that the plants at the fountain were created by Rose. Actually, it's still unclear whether they were intentionally created or just came to life when they came in contact with the fountain water. This sign isn't actually hanging on anything, which means it's defying gravity. This has bothered me since the day this episode came out and will continue to bother me until the day I die. Talking about it now is the only peace I will ever know. Steven just having a whole farmer outfit ready to go is almost more unbelievable than him having a Snursen costume back in Keep Beach City Weird. One of the rules of the beach in Beach City is no running. No running on the beach? What kind of fucking tyrant is Mayor Dewey anyway? Sadie has a scar from when her cheek got cut back in Island Adventure. I mentioned that in that episode, but what I failed to mention is that we never see what actually gave her that scar. It wasn't the gem monster, I can tell you that much. There's another $3 bill that showed up in a previous episode as well.
Check out these weird watermelon guys.
This scene goes on for way too long because Ronaldo talks really slow for some reason. It's like this episode is padding for time, which is weird because there's actually a lot going on in this episode, and it mostly moves pretty fast. We don't have time for filler scenes, let's get a move on.
He's practically giving them away! Hurry before they're gone forever!
Where the hell did all these people come from? They weren't there in any of the reverse shots. Ronaldo just has the ability to gather a crowd through the power of yelling really loud.
And another, and another, and another.
I love this joke of Steven not actually counting and not actually knowing how much money he made. It's certainly over $200, most likely more if there's more of those $3 bills in this stack. I'm not going to be doing the math on how many watermelons he sold because that'll get me counting all of the melon Stevens during the climax. Keeping track of that continuity would drive me to drink watermelon wine.
Oh, hey, Onion.
This scene is an example of Onion being used well as a tertiary character. I don't like Onion that much, honestly I find him kind of annoying, but he works well as a townie. Make him the focus of an episode, however, and he brings down the whole show. I think the same for Ronaldo. These are not characters made to have focus episodes, yet they both get several throughout the show. This table is drawn weird. I don't have a point to make about it, it's just weird.
Sorry, Onion. Baby Melon is not for sale.
Absolute ninja maneuver. Onion stole Baby Melon and set the sign down on the ground gently enough to not make a sound, all within the half second of Steven closing his eyes. It literally took Steven longer to understand what just happened than it did for Onion to pull all of that off. Alright, where is Funland? What street are we on? The layout of Beach City is becoming less clear as time goes on. That map from the art book has it on the north part of town by the bay and the water tower, but in Fusion Cuisine, that's where the restaurant was. And I've seen it in some overhead shots, but it's missing in others. Maybe at a certain point it will start showing up consistently, but it's been inconsistent for so long that I can't ignore it at this point.
You're alive? I really shouldn't be so surprised about this.
I like this as sort of a meta joke for people who've been watching the episodes in order. This feels like it could work as an early season 1 episode, so having Steven react the way he does is a good way to see how he's been growing around his magic powers as he learns about them. I love the Watermelon Steven music so much. Steven's leitmotif instrument is chiptune. Chiptune is famously not taken seriously, which goes well with Steven's goofy, generally not serious character, especially in season 1. I missed it before, but this watermelon stretched the fuck out of Mr. Smiley's fanny pack. That's like the most elastic material I've seen. But it doesn't go back after he takes it out. I bet he had to get a new one. I also missed this until now. Steven goes into the fry shop and comes out, and then appears in the fry shop in the next scene. Weird. Weirdstar.stream is a reference to Worldstar Hip Hop, which I thought was dead and buried long ago, but apparently it's still around. Also, the domain exists. I don't own it this time, and it doesn't take you anywhere interesting. It's just a blank page. These numbers remind me of my streams. Do you guys know I do gemology discussion streams every Saturday? You can find those on YouTube, but I also stream more often on Twitch, just for fun.
Ronaldo, I'll go get help!
Steven, is the camera getting all of this? Sweet! Oh!
I'm glad Ronaldo has his priorities in order. He'll put himself in harm's way as long as he gets to document something weird.
Pearl? Garnet? Amethyst?
What?
Oh, that's how they track gem monsters. Gem monsters in the news, that makes sense.
Get in the house.
But
Now!
Notice that the watermelons only ever attacked when someone laid hands on Steven. I don't think he can control them at all. I think they're pretty much independent. It's a shame, that would have been a cool power to play with. But it only ever comes up one more time, and not even in the main show, all the way in future. Here's Garnet's first use of her gauntlets as rockets. Likewise, here's Amethyst's first use of that Sonic the Hedgehog spin dash attack, and double likewise, here's Pearl's first use of her spear as some kind of laser shooter thing. This is kind of a weird fight scene to be introducing these new moves for each character. I suppose if they introduced these at a more serious moment, it would have gotten people saying shit like, "What? That's bullshit, she never did that before." Well, the before is now, for all three of them. This poses a reference to a statue in Oslo, which I can't show you because it has exposed dick and balls, and YouTube.com is gonna drive a tank through my house if I show that. It's a statue of a man fighting a bunch of babies. Just Google baby fighting statue and you'll find it.
they're gonna put me in the ground! No! Those flowers are lovely!
This is one of the most cartoony, suspend your disbelief fight scenes in the whole show. I love it. It's just so absurd. The dialogue, the watermelons, it's all so Cartoon Network. I also like the gag of the melons breaking apart into perfectly portioned slices. That's like the cartoon cherry on top of this whole scene. Watermelons float. These guys should be floating in the water. There's a lot of instances of characters sinking in the water, especially gems. Actually, the first instance was way back in Bubble Buddies. That bubble was full of air. It should have definitely been floating.
Spoken like a true king.
They don't need a king. They're their own melons now.
melonking.net exists. I'm not going to tell you what's there. That's a rabbit hole you're going to have to discover on your own. Maybe it's just coming off the 2 episodes I didn't like that much, but I love this episode. It's uniquely Steven Universe, which is to say that this episode wouldn't have worked in any other cartoon. The main character grows a metric ton of magical living watermelons that are shaped like him overnight. Yep, that sounds very Steven Universe. It's very season 1 as well. Like I said earlier, it feels like it could fit in early season 1, and what's interesting about that is that this episode is, in my opinion, the last one in the series that fits into that monster of the week type style that really early season 1 had. I'm gonna miss that vibe, but at the same time, I'm really fucking excited for what's coming up. And if you want to see new episodes a week before they premiere on YouTube, you can subscribe to my Patreon for just a couple bucks. The link is in the description, as always. Shoutouts to my Journeyman patrons, Anri Wickers, Bananas Are Violet, Boom Blorp, Gage M, Cinderant, Scala LD, and the Tamara. Also shoutouts to these apprentice patrons: Next episode, I don't even want to make a joke about. It's the first one to be nominated for an Emmy. No, in the past, he doesn't wear jorts. Like, young Greg doesn't have jorts. What the fuck is this? Who the fuck did this? Hold on. What did I just find? This is fucked. It's got the jorts. They got the jorts right. Why? Don't ask me. This is just what you see when you search Greg Steven Universe on Google Images.